Right, New Zealand Cup week and catching up with Craig Ferguson. Firstly, Craig, welcome back.
It's good to be back. It's always nice up here. Good fun.
A little bit quieter than the last time we've done an interview in this shed. The goat hasn't arrived yet, so we don't have to worry about anyone being pestered.
Yeah, look, I get left alone a wee bit without him here because him and Regan, they just gang up on me. So it's been quite peaceful not having him. He'll be here next week. Well,
Reggie,
a couple of days. So.
Reggie's sitting over there going to sleep, so it's all good. Firstly, congratulations on how the team's going for a start, mate. You're flying.
Cheers, mate. No, it's really pleasing just how they've been going, and we're lucky enough to have a few nice horses, so it's really good.
How long have you been training for? You're not an old man, so how long have you actually been out there having a crack by yourself?
I sort of got started pretty early. I was lucky enough, my first couple of horses went quite handy, so I thought, this game's easy, but the wheels fell off a wee bit after that. We sort of didn't have much horsepower and that, so it took a while just to build up a nice team and manage to get some staff and do things that way. So I've been doing it a while.
Bit of a challenge, Wyndham. You're about base at down south, or is almost at the bottom of it. Is it a challenge down there to get horses and to get owners?
It's a big farming community in that, so a lot of those guys all have horses in that. So there's still plenty of horses floating around down there. So it was just a matter of making connections and meeting people, and then getting them to trust me to send a horse to me. So
and then every year trying to raise the bar a little bit and get one better and one better.
Yeah, that's right. Just try and find nice quality horses, and we only do a small team with limited space. So just trying to keep those nice ones and move the other ones on if we can.
Good little training setup. They raced there the other day, but it's a good little training setup for you. But yeah, as you say, a little bit limited on how many you can have. Yeah,
it's a great training setup. We've got the pool and the big roomy grass track and that, so we were very lucky like that. But yeah, just probably short on space. But in saying that, it's we don't have to do a big team, and means that we can probably just spend a little bit more time on the nice ones.
Yeah, like this bloke here. We'll touch on him in a minute. You train a small team. You've got Mark Errol working for you, and we'll touch on his drives over the Cup week in a minute. You don't always drive your own. Like, is there a reason for it? It's one of those things that always intrigues me from across the ditch, that you're not always on yours. You give Mark quite a few drives, but you take outside drives and drive other people's horses.
Yeah, look, I love the driving. I really do enjoy it, and ideally I'd drive everything I have, but just to retain good staff and that, and Mark's absolutely brilliant for me. So you got to give them drives, and he's such a good driver as well. So you put him on, he's going to get the job done. So it's just nice to give him the odd drive here and there, and especially a decent one that hopefully he'll stick around.
Are you a good watcher? Like watching, if you're not driving in the race, are you good at watching?
Yeah, look, I sort of tend to use either Nathan Williamson or Mark. Obviously drives a lot for me, and you know when you put them on that they're going to pretty much do the right thing and make the right call. So it's not too bad.
Do you get nervous?
A little bit, yeah. If I got a horse, especially up here, that it's expected to go well, or I expect it to go well, just a wee few nerves, just hoping everything goes right.
Yeah, it's always a fun one. I know when I started watching more than driving, it's different. It's hard to explain to people, isn't it? Because you're just totally out of control. As soon as you clip that head up or put the person in the cart, you're just completely out of control, and it's a bit different.
Yeah, probably the worst thing is, when you're out there yourself, you get to make the decision at the time. So probably leading into a race, I'm trying to think what might happen, and you don't really know until you're out there. But yeah, luckily with lots of Mark and Nathan, and that, they're going to make the right call, most of the time.
We'll stick with Mark for a sec. Wag Star. What a revelation he's been. You must be blown away by how he goes. Just seems to continually step up and keeps improving, for what I see anyway, each run.
Yeah, early on he was sort of a big overgrown horse, so he certainly wasn't a favourite of anyone, but he always just did just enough. And then we were lucky enough to have quite a few nice 3-year-olds floating around, and hence why I said to Mark, well, you can drive this guy. And I think the day I said that, he went out and just started getting better and better, and that's when he really turned the corner.
I don't know if it was his last start. I think it was where he came off the second line. Just phenomenal what he to find the top, and then he just kept rolling and ran away from him.
Yeah, and the beauty of him is he's such a lovely horse to drive. You can use him off the gate and he'll come back and he'll relax, and Mark can drive him through from the second row, but he doesn't get too keen or pulley or anything like that. He just does what you ask him to, which is a real asset to him. Da Vinci,
another 3-year-old, he's going good. Seems to, I don't know, just get back in the field, and you always seem to be caught wide on him. He just seems a horse that nothing's going, I don't know if it's not going to plan, but when you're watching it doesn't seem like it's going where you want it to be going.
Yeah, well, he struck a couple of tough draws. He was wide at Ashburton and then second row the other day. He does have huge gate speed, but I think that if we use it, we don't have the finish at the end. It's going to probably get to a stage where we're going to have to try and get him a bit handier, so we might use him then. But he's been getting home nicely, so coming into show day and things like that, it's probably building nice.
Yeah, he's going, as you say, going good, but you're sort of keeping an eye on the stablemate actually up the front more often than not, so which is a good problem for you. Less pressure on you. Everyone's watching the stablemate.
Yeah, well, the lucky thing with Wag Star, you can use him early, and he can do that sort of thing. So Mark's able to get him into a far better position than what I can get my fella into a lot of the times. So.
How good is Wag Star?
Yeah, look, I think he's pretty smart. He looks to me he's probably going to improve too. He doesn't really look like he's a real natural 3-year-old, so I think the future could be quite bright for him.
What do you do with him? More races towards the end of the year? Is he here for Grand Prix week?
Yeah, so the Derby's Grand Prix week, so hopefully we can get him into that, and if he keeps going the way he is, he'll be in there. So he's racing tomorrow, and then there'll be another lead-in race to the Derby, and then after that we might even put him aside and just let him sort of fill out a bit more.
And aim at being back here this time of year next year?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it'll be exciting for the industry, and horses on the up. Right, the grey, no mistake why we are here, Smoke and Bander. His Australian campaign didn't go to plan in Queensland and the rest, and I was a bit worried about him. Man, he's come back in great form. Yeah,
look, the Aussie trip, just everything that could go wrong did. It was a real head scratcher for me. Probably learned a lot from it about the horse, and we've been able to get him sort of right this time, which I was a wee bit concerned about because he is such a confident horse, or confidence horse, that if things go wrong I was worried it might rattle him, but he's come back good and seems to be trotting better than ever.
The funny thing, Dylan Ferguson's here, and I was talking to Dylan in Australia about Love Me Too. And he was saying how the other filly, whose name, she's Ruby? No, is that right?
She's Bella.
She's Bella. How she had that one trip last year here and learnt from it, where he hadn't really had a trip away, and then he goes to Australia and it was okay. His last running was just... It's a funny thing how you can learn sometimes from defeat, if you like, when you travel.
Yeah, that's right. Looking back on a few of the things, and we did, and we lined him up, I think because he had to trial, we lined him up 3 times in 10 days, which normally I race him fortnightly at the most. So probably the fact that we'd gone all that way and we had to try and make the final, and we probably just did things I wouldn't normally do, and I could probably take from that now that we're back home, and be better next time I do take something over there, I guess.
Yeah, just keep learning. Dominion Handicap's his main aim?
Yeah, no, it's we've sort of aimed him for that, and obviously we run into a couple of real smart ones, but if he brings his manners and that, and goes the way he has been, he should go a good race. That
seems to be his strength, one, his manners, and he also has that turn of foot. And to me, if you found the front, I might be wrong, but he looks like a horse that's just very comfortable in front and comfortable at a good speed.
Yeah, he's one of those ones, he can just cruise along nicely out in front, and he does sort of like just being out there just doing his own things. So obviously Muscle Mountain's going to be off the unruly, but it'll depend on where Bolt draws, just to see what happens, and ideally if we could get the front row, that we can make a good beginning, and it'll give us options anyway.
You got a couple of other drives. You driving Treacherous Girl for Reggie?
No, I'm not. No.
You didn't sack you?
Oh yeah, the owners wanted a Group 1 driver, and I haven't been lucky enough to pick one of those up just yet. So Blee's the best in the business, so you can understand why.
Oh, that's what happens. I didn't know that obviously before, and I didn't look at the drivers, so I do apologise for that. But for the rest of the week, have you got other drives?
None on Cup Day, but I'll have a couple of drives on Show Day, obviously, the Big Grey and Da Vinci. So.
What about down south? Is there any runners this weekend? Because you're flying down south, stable.
We had one in yesterday. 2-year-old filly. She won and went really well, so she'll hopefully come up here for Grand Prix Day, as long as she keeps on going the way she is. So other than that, we're pretty quiet down home.
Very good, Craig. Thank you. Well done for everything you're doing, mate. I think you're doing an awesome job. And look after Wag Star. I think he's pretty exciting, and there's no chance we'd see him in Australia.
There's a possibility of that. He's probably strikes me as the sort of horse that would handle a trip like that. He's certainly a bit better behaved and a bit more sensible than this guy. So we'll just see how it all goes. But yeah, he could end up there.
Exciting. Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you.